Okay, so in this video here, what I want you to do is I want you to try these problems on your own. I know that sounds crazy, but until you spend some time thinking through these, they're never going to make a lot of sense to you. So pause the video, see if you can figure out what transformations are involved. Like for example, here you have a negative sign here. What does that mean? What does this -3 mean? What does this -2 mean? What are those transformations? List those out and then see if you can find the new graph of the transformed function. Make out some table of values over here and see if you can figure out what those final points will be, and then go ahead and repeat that for this one as well. So pause the video now, work on that, and then play the video to get the answers. Okay, so hopefully you actually tried the problem. I know some of you may not have, but remember, you're only going to get out of this class what you put into it. So try to think through things, put yourself in your brain to action there. So for this first one, you want to be going right 3, do a vertical reflection, and then down 2. Those are what they're telling you to do here. This first table of values was just the 3 points that I started with from the original f of x function. This second chart is where I moved everything to the right 3, and you're adding 3 to each of these x values. And then I did the reflection. This is a vertical reflection, by the way, and that created this green here and this new set of y values. Each of these y values are just changed to the opposite sign, right? So it's like you're multiplying by -1, so 4 changed to -4, 0 stayed 0, 4 to -4. Secondly, I guess the third step, I moved everything down 2. So you're taking each of these y values and you're subtracting 2, and that gives you this final purple graph. Make sure you tell me what your final graph is. I've got to be able to find your final graph when I'm grading. Okay, so make sure somehow in the middle of all this madness that I can find this final table of values and I can find this final graph. Okay. On the next example here, you need to go to the left 4, a vertical reflection, a vertical compression, and then up 2. Reminder, it doesn't matter the order of these 2 steps here. If you interchange those, that's fine, all right, because those can be interchanged without any issues. This first table of values on the right over here is just my original function. Okay, this is just my original g of x function here, where I just looked at a few points. And then I moved everything to the left 4, and I got this chart here and the red graph to match that. Then I did a vertical reflection in the next table of values over here, graphed it. Then I did a vertical compression, okay. Be careful with these because sometimes you're going to get these fractions. It starts getting a little sticky, right? So be careful that you're being mindful with what you're doing. When you did the vertical compression on this one, essentially what you're doing is you are dividing by 3, right? So you want to think about taking these y values that you had in this step and dividing them by 3, and that will give you these y values here, okay? Multiplying by 1/3 or dividing by 3 is the same thing. And then lastly, you move everything up 2, which will give you this new set of y values and this final graph. Once again, make sure I can find your final graph and I can find this final table of values. So if you have questions, just reach out and get some help, and I'll be glad to work with you more on this. But these just take practice, and I hope you will work hard to practice, and I'll see you in the next video.